Hello again, Pokepeeps! Today we are going to be talking about which Pokemon will give you more Stardust on capture. Now, you may have noticed just from playing Pokemon Go that some Pokemon will give you more Stardust, the obvious ones being like second and third stage evolutions. If you were to capture a Kakuna, it will be giving you 300 Stardust because it is a second stage evolution, while a Weedle will only give you 100 Dust because it's a base Pokemon. Meanwhile, if you catch a Beedrill, that'll give you 500 Stardust. That is something that you as the average Pokemon player have probably noticed while just walking the field and catching Pokemon. However, there are Pokemon that are species specific since last season that will actually give you more Stardust simply because they are a different species. So we are going to talk about the handful of Pokemon that will give you extra Stardust simply because they are a different species that specify getting more Stardust. Starting off, we have Pokemon that will give you 500 Stardust in their capture, while their evolutions will give you 700 Stardust. Paras and Parasect, the grass bug type Pokemon that you normally would probably ignore. They have quadruple weaknesses to fire and flying. Paras will give you 500 Stardust on capture, while Parasect will give you 700 Stardust on capture. Paras used to be quite the common Pokemon, but it's very easy to look right over. No one really wants a Paras. Well, now they're a little worth something. 500 Stardust on capture on a fairly easy to capture Pokemon. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's capture this Paras. The next species to give you 500 Stardust on capture would be Shroomish. Shroomish is another fairly common grass-type Pokemon. I haven't seen it so much now that the Season of Legend has started. But yeah, another Pokemon that you usually glance right over but gives you 500 Dust, while its evolution Breloom, the grass fighting type, will give you 700 Stardust. The next 500 Stardust capture is Fungus. Fungus and Amoonguss will give you more Stardust on capture. Fungus will give you 500, while Amoonguss will give you 700. Now, Fungus and Amoonguss, like, I've seen both of these wild and fairly common, not so much in the Season of Legend. Maybe it has some lore behind the main series games, being that you could actually interact with these Pokemon back in the Black and White DS games. So maybe that's why Niantic decided to give them a little bit of extra dust on capture. The next 500 dust capture is pretty interesting because it's the same species, but it has regional variants that actually have more dust on capture. Cantonian Meowth and Persian. Cantonian Meowth will give you 500 dust on capture, while Persian will give you 700. But if you capture its Alolan form, the Alolan form will give you 750, while Persian Alolan will give you 950. I've never seen an Alolan Persian in the wild. I'm not even sure if Alolan Meowth spawns in the wild, outside of an event. If you have an event that has Alolan Meowth in it, do not ignore it. Like, besides having a pretty blue shiny, Alolan Meowth will give you 750 dust. Do not ignore it. Definitely worth a Raspberry and an Ultra Ball if you have it. Going into the Pokemon that will be giving you 750 dust on capture, the next one is almost obvious when you think about it. It's Staryu. Staryu will give you 750 dust on capture, while Starmie will give you 950 dust on capture. Now, they're stars, so yeah, that one actually feels almost a little obvious and easy to remember. If you see Wild Staryu, definitely capture it. The next 750 Stardust capture is actually a Pokemon you probably don't ignore if you PvP. The Ghost Dark type Stableeye. Stableeye is already known to be a PvP monster, but it will actually give you 750 dust on capture. You're already going to be catching Stableeye. If you have an area that is rich in Stableeye, you probably also have an area rich in Stardust. An easy way to remember this might be how Stableeye has gems in its body. Gems Stardust? Huh? So this one actually went right over my head. I did not realize this at first when they were spawning all over the place. Trubbish. Trubbish and Garbodor. Trubbish will give you 750 dust on capture. Garbodor will give you 950 dust on capture. These were spawning all over the place for an event, and I was ignoring them. I do not like this little garbage bag. I do not appreciate it was in 12k eggs for so long, so I was ignoring it almost out of spite. I should not have been doing that. 750 Stardust is something that should not be ignored, and you should be razzing and like Ultra Balling these when you see them. I wonder if Niantic did this because, like, if trash is on the ground, maybe Niantic would want us to clean up our local parks. So that's an easy way that I've now remembered, like, Niantic wants us to keep this park clean, so we catch the Trubbish, they reward us with extra Stardust. The last 750 Stardust capture is one I've been seeing very frequently since the start of the season of Legend. Combi. Combi will give you 750 dust. It's another very easy to ignore Pokemon because it used to be very hard to capture. Very high capture rate, I'm guessing. Vespiquen will also give you 950 dust on capture, but I've never really seen Vespiquen. I hope you guys are finding the Combi as much as I am. I'm finding Combi everywhere, and I'm not missing a single one. Every single one is getting a Raspberry and a Great Ball. Moving into the next tier, the 1000 Stardust captures, the Pokemon that you will absolutely not want to miss. Shelter. Shelter gives you 1000 Stardust on capture, while Cloyster gives you 1200. I'm wondering if this is like some sort of Pearl thing, Clam, Pearl, more Stardust. But Shelters were spawning all over the place last season. I wasn't missing a single one. I was even finding wild Cloysters last season. And yeah, they were giving 1200 dust every single capture. It was fantastic. I hope those spawns come back up because I love this little Shelter. I hope to capture even more. The next 1000 dust capture is Chimecho. Chimecho is already a rare Pokemon, so you're probably not going to miss capturing it if you see it spawn in the wild. One of these did spawn in the season of Legend recently for me, and it did give me 1000 dust on that capture. But yes, Chimecho is a fairly rare Pokemon, so you're probably going to capture it anyway. But it's noted that it will give you 1000 dust on that capture, so just twice the reason why you shouldn't be missing out on a Chimecho. Now, the biggest Stardust Pokemon that will give you the most on a single capture is Audino. Audino will give you 2100 Stardust on capture. These are fairly rare Pokemon, but when they do spawn, I Golden Raspberry and I Ultra Ball them. I do not let a 2100 capture Pokemon run. The reasoning behind this is most likely back in the DS games. Audino was known as the Pokemon that give you the most experience for defeating it. Not that Audino was that tough to beat, it was just an experience Pokemon. It would give you a ton of experience for simply defeating it in battle. It was super easy to level up your Pokemon that way. Niantic has taken this idea and translated it into a Stardust capture. Audino can be kind of hard to catch. I've had them break out of Golden Ultra combos. While they're well worth the resource if all you're doing is hoarding Ultra Balls and Golden Raspberries anyway. If you see a wild Audino, make sure to capture it. If you capture a wild Audino while you have a star piece on, that is 3150 Stardust. Yeah, do never let these things go. Some important notes for the catch bonus Pokemon. Deabird will actually give you 500 dust per capture. I mean, that's almost an easy one to remember too because it's the Christmas exclusive Pokemon. I saved it for the end of the list because Deabird is only around for a week every year, maybe 2 weeks if we're lucky. But usually the event for Christmas is only a week long. Then the Deabirds are, I don't know, they're around. They're uncommon, but I wouldn't call them plentiful. Don't ignore Deabirds in Christmas time. Another important note is Shadow Pokemon do not give you extra Stardust on capture, even if they are the species that would normally give you extra Stardust on capture. Shelter is known to be Shadow, but it will only give you 100 dust because it's a Shadow Pokemon. Why? I guess because Shadow Pokemon are evil. So that was the list of Pokemon that you should be capturing if you like Stardust. I know playing PvP so much, I end up burning through my Stardust sometimes, especially in the Master League, where powering a Pokemon up to 40 or 50 is extremely costly. So I never let these Pokemon run from me. They always get a Raspberry and at least a Great Ball. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this information can help you in your quest to be a better trainer. And as always, happy hunting.